Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Uchi, and we're finally... Wait, I got the sounds ready. You ready? Back again! Once again, how you guys doing today? Yes, the whole faction is here. Power Rangers Academia. It's a miracle. It ain't just me and JD. It ain't just me, JD, and Isaac. It's me, JD, Isaac, and Technique. Oh, the whole gang. This is what we signed up for. So we have a lot to talk about, of course, as always. So you already know who some of us are. If you don't, well, quick intro. It's your boy Uch, man JD, the homie Isaac, and Technique. Since this is your first time officially on one of these, go ahead. The floor is yours. Introduce yourself to the people at home.
Yeah, I don't think I'm as distinguished as my fellow podcasters, my fellow Power Ranger Academia people. But I'm just a lifelong Power Rangers fan. I know these guys, through the game. I just be out here. I don't even really know what to say.
He just works here, guys.
I just work here.
He just works.
I'm not as cool as these guys.
Hey, I'm the same as you. We just big fan.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm gonna give a little bit more credit to where it's due, because let's not forget, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Okay, you're looking at 3 pillars. All right, and this guy literally did the calendars. All right.
That's right. We got Technique, we got myself, and JD.
Yeah.
The 3 pillars of Battle for the Grid.
Yep.
Man, I'm so bad at that game. It's not even funny. It's embarrassing how bad I am for how passionate I am.
Still a pillar.
I was there day one.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's facts.
Yep. So now we're finally all here. So we've been kind of hyping up Tech's arrival so that we can get these like 4-man episodes going on. So obviously, full disclosure, we're gonna be pretty much talking about a lot, so we're gonna not jam pack it all in one. So just look out for the other videos that follow this one, so that way you guys can hear every single bit of discussion that we're gonna be talking about tonight. So just jump right into it. So I know it's been a bit. It's been like a few weeks since the last upload, and obviously there's been some pretty decent amount of things that's happened in the Power Ranger fandom. And obviously one of those things being the fact that Dino Fury's finally done, and now we can officially look on to Cosmic Fury in the future, as well as some other projects, which I'm sure we'll get into. But since JD and I already kind of gave our thoughts on Dino Fury, I wanted to let Isaac give his thoughts, and then I know Tech, our man is busy. There's a reason why he hasn't been on these fucking episodes in the first place. Okay, so he'll give his thoughts on what he has seen, and then JD and I will just jump in from there, and then we'll do our thing. So Isaac, go ahead, share with us how you felt about what the hell happened with that the last chunk of season 2 and that finale.
So I'm not gonna go too much into it because I know you guys covered a lot of very similar thoughts that I have on the last episode. But the main thing that stuck out for me, and the thing that I'm really happy about that Hasbro did here, was we're getting past mistakes fixed. Okay, now
it's a big one.
Things make sense now, and I'm glad. It only took how many seasons since Super Mega Force?
It's even before that, honestly.
Yeah, even before that, yes. But that's where it really started going downhill. Right? When Legendary Battle, it's like, yo, how all of them get over there? And once that we've never seen before here in America. It's it didn't make too much sense. Jason coming back and Beast Morphers. Knowing now how it happened. Shout outs to the Morphin Masters. Okay, shout out to
Masters.
OD. Okay, so basically, they were able to figure out that it was the Morphin Master who was able to use the powers to bring past and present Rangers to basically, to wherever she wants. And I'm just glad, because there was a lot of back then. One of the most asked questions, like, how did this happen? Why did it happen? there was really no explanation. It just happened. You know, it just happened. So now the thing that stuck out to me, guys, me being the biggest Tommy fan, was when in the beginning of the Super Mega Force episode, where Tommy hands out, he pulls out the Saba to help out the kid from the car, and then he comes back as the Green Ranger. But now it just makes me think. I'm over here like, why did that happen? But now it's like, you know what? It's a very good chance that's not the same Tommy.
Wow, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, it's a very good chance that's not the same Tommy. So I like how the series finale, Dino Fury. We had questions before, but now I have so many more questions that I'm actually looking forward to getting answered. Now I'm just not gonna blame it on the company that owned the IP. Now I'm very excited for Cosmic Fury. Still not happy about the name, but I'm very excited. Very, very excited. I'm stoked. The whole Pink Rangers, the whole thing what happened with the Pink Ranger, listen to this, whatever, to me, I'm just happy things are coming together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. So yeah, Tech, I mean, after hearing all that, how do you feel?
Okay, so like I said, like Uchi kind of mentioned earlier, like I'm like halfway through. Like I kind of stopped watching it when the Gold Ranger came out, so like I'm really far behind. But obviously, like we talked about Dino, I actually like Dino Fury so far. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely, you can tell that they try a lot in it. So I've definitely been enjoying it. But honestly, like these high praises from Isaac just now, it made me really like excited and catching up. Because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's like a spectrum of like how like jaded we are in Power Rangers. And I feel like Isaac is usually like at the bottom of like being jaded. So like if he likes something, it must really be good.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That was a great series finale. It was one of the better ones that I can remember.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Like the Dino Fury finale for the whole Saban era, Neo Saban era, is probably the best one.
Wow.
Free.
By far.
Free.
Okay.
Free.
I'm definitely gonna have it watched.
And granted, it's still,
episode,
you still have to watch it through
watch
the Neo Saban like lens. It's like, there's no countdown to destruction or to the end of time or like endings, like it's none of those. But it's pretty solid,
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I think this is kind of like what we were talking about before, was that what they did with their finale and just kind of how they set themselves up and they position themselves to kind of be where they're at and like with their story and all that, they are cementing their legacy right now, which has not been done since Turbo into Space. And if you want to really include that Zordon era, then yeah, because like when this has been repeated, but I'll say it again for the sake of just kind of bringing you into that vibe, is that like when you think Power Rangers, you're thinking of these guys. Okay, like you're thinking of the Mighty Morphin, and that's especially what Hasbro's doing. Look at all the merchandising they put out. Like 90% of it is straight up Mighty Morphin. Like even with Boom, obviously, shout out to the comics, but the majority of those stories are all based around that Mighty Morphin squad. Even though, like they're at a point now where they're in like towards the end of what Mighty Morphin you would think is, but like I haven't even read issue 100 yet, so we're not even gonna get into that. But I don't know what happens.
We're still in season 2.
Oh shit! Okay, I was gonna say,
but we're I feel like we're getting towards the end of season 2.
Right. Okay.
The point where I'm like, something's gonna change soon. But we'll see.
So like my whole point is that there really hasn't, when you think about it, there really hasn't been like a solidified legacy of like a Ranger team since like that Zordon era of Power Rangers. Because once Space was over, I mean, Lost Galaxy was like a kind of consider that like kind of like the epilogue of the Zordon era, because it kind of like they still had relations and ties and connections. But then once Lightspeed Rescue and on, a lot of shows, bangers for what they are. And once we start getting towards the end of that Disney section, things start to kind of, you see the slopage, right? And then when Neo Saban,
You're talking about in terms of like the teams becoming more mainstay-ish.
Well,
like in terms of the public eye.
Well, yeah. So like what I'm kind of more referring to is that like teams for better or for worse, they just became like your seasons.
One-off.
Yeah.
The one.
And no one has what that Zordon era has. But this time around, it's like Dino Fury is creating that for itself with these last 2 seasons now going into Cosmic Fury, because no other team has done that since Turbo, which is crazy. And that's kind of like where Isaac and I are like on the same page. Like I'm very excited to see what happens in Cosmic Fury, just because it's just like, all right, they have truly found themselves identity wise. They are like kind of really sticking out from this Neo Saban crop of teams that we've had since Samurai. And like it's better to feel this way than to feel how we felt after watching the Legendary War. All right, so great things. Now obviously back to like also what I feel like the general consensus here is that this is by no means our favorite. I don't think they would have it. Like they could throw Zed in there, which they have. They can, reference other teams, which they have. They could even do history lessons, which they have. I don't know why they didn't why couldn't they get Alpha's original actor? That was my other thing, but that's a side tangent, right?
Same reason they couldn't get Bayonetta for Bayonetta 3.
Oh my
I'm just saying,
Oh my, that's a bag of worms. But the point is that even with all that, like they're looking back, there has been like a fair balance, especially when you take into consideration that, okay, well, they are the 28th and 29th season, which is right where this new anniversary stuff is happening at 30 with Cosmic Fury. So it would make sense. And even though it's funny, originally they weren't intended to just do what they're doing now, but they revealed that back during, I want to say the springtime of this year, that's when they knew that, hey, like we're going to bring you guys back for the following season. So I think that's really cool. And like I said, I'm like really excited to see what happens next and like how they pick things up, because that's the other thing. I guess we can like go into like this Cosmic Fury thoughts of this, because it's like directly related, is that like they're like, how are they going to start? Like, because there's only 10 episodes or is it like 11?
Yes. No, 10. It's 10 episodes. 10. Still the same episode length.
Is it? I thought it's gonna be longer.
So there was rumors that it might be longer, but then Simon Bennett cleared it up and said it's gonna
see.
But like so at first that worried me, but then I thought about it. I was like, Cobra Kai's episodes are half hour, and 10 episodes with no filler, you could do a lot. I know I just went back to Cobra Kai, but seriously, you have to think of it that way. You have to be like, well, if they're doing like if they're doing 10 episodes, but you don't have any gag team and it's all plot and all action, that might be good. Or because then you're just getting to the point.
He might be trolling us, but not really trolling us, because there's going to be 10 episodes of Cosmic Fury, and then we get 10 episodes of Super Cosmic Fury.
They're not doing that anymore.
Which is very possible.
They're not. And, I mean, he said it's 10 episodes and that's it. Because realistically, right, what we're getting probably is the 10 episodes of of Cosmic Fury and whatever we get of the special, and that's probably where all the budget for season 30 went. It was dispersed. Like, if I had to guess,
that's a good guesstimate. Yeah,
I have there's a theory that there might be a little crossover between the two, because since they were both over there for at least a few days, like there's a chance that you might have some characters from the OG showing up in Cosmic Fury.
Should not happen
some way.
Just saying.
You saying
But-
should not or could?
No, because we should get Space and Lost Galaxy Rangers and Cosmic Fury. If
Yeah,
there's
but,
any crossover,
but
that's gonna happen.
again, like
But
the last time we saw Billy, he was an Avatar.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Yeah, but he's not coming back as an Alien Ranger.
No, but he'd still be there.
Imagine.
You know, be like with his like you could use that to explain how he gets back to Earth. I don't know.
Yo, can you imagine Cosmic Fury? There's an episode where they see the Astro Mega ship.
Bro,
That
Don't
wouldn't
do
that be
that to
fire?
me. Don't do
30th
that to me.
anniversary. Do it.
That
Don't
makes
do that.
sense. And they
I mean,
coming
I
coming
would-
out with the
with the-
Zord. You know, so yo, listen, this we'll leave that for later.
Yeah,
But, you know,
But
just
like
a
so,
thought.
but I'm curious. Like, where do you guys want to see those 10 episodes go? Like, how would you like to see that like used? Like, if you were gonna book like a 10 episode like series finale again. Like
So
with this team.
the first thing, so here's the thing, the first idea that kind of comes to mind, which I'm sure none of us have thought of, because why would we? But if this truly is just it, right? Because that makes me feel weird, because it's just like, okay, I hope they're lying, because just having 10 for your 30th anniversary season is way too little. Even if it was like, say if it was 20 episodes, all right, that's all right, I guess.
That's
Right,
your
15
standard
would have been okay.
Yeah, but if it was like, because originally, originally everyone thought it was like 10 episodes where it was like 45 minutes each. That would have been OD, but that's not what's happening again. However, the last time we had that was Alien Rangers, but that was transitional. They went from Zeo, and Alien was the bridge from Zeo, or I'm sorry, Mighty Morphin to Zeo, right? So I'm just like, well, they can't really do that here if what's after this is believed to just be brand new reboot, whatever. Like, that's all speculation station at that point. So I don't know, like, for me, like, what would I want? 30th anniversary, okay. I already brought this up to JD. I'm gonna bring it up to y'all too now, because this is the perfect opportunity to bring Draken into the fray along with the Omega Ranger powers.
I was gonna say that. I want Omega Ranger. It makes sense.
100%.
Especially
makes
because
sense.
Especially with
again,
how
if you want to
much
cross
the
over,
comics
Zach
look
is
like.
there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because the whole dispute of, well, obviously Billy's not gonna be an Aquitar Ranger. Of course he's not. He'll just be Omega Blue, because to remind folks, or for those that don't even know, the Omega Rangers was literally Zach, Trini, and Jason when they went to the peace conference, right? But outside of Jason, I mean, Jason did come back a few times. He came back as Gold Ranger. He came back as Red again in Forever Red, and he came back in Beast Morphers. But the Beast Morphers was Morphin Master Green, okay? Thanks, shout outs, right? But this time, we have not seen Zach or Billy since Billy left in
We
Zero.
saw Billy. We kind of saw Billy because there was only one Blue Ranger, Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger, like in Beast Morphers. Not him as Billy as the character, but we saw him the Ranger.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, I don't count that. Shit. I hated when they did that. I hated when they did that.
I'm just going off a
Yeah.
technicality here.
yeah.
So there's a technicality. But
Yeah. So, like, it would be amazing for them to, as a surprise, like, oh my God, like, you're like, yeah, that peace conference happened, but it was off planet or something. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter how they write it, but, like, you know, it would be cool and nostalgic, you know, to hear them say, because they're not bringing them back, and it's not like they're not gonna morph. They're going to have that, even if it's one time. We're gonna hear Mastodon, Triceratops. We're hearing that again. Get our ears ready, because I know I am, right? But the huge shock would be if they fucking do Omega whatever. I forget, like Omega Wind, Fire, Water, all that. And the Blue Ranger has changed in the comics. So I'm sure no one will complain if Billy becomes Omega Blue for the TV show. That would be fire. So, like, yeah, that's what I would expect. I just really want it. I want them to have a really good season, while also doing all of the anniversary type stuff you'd expect to see. Especially if it's only 10 episodes. I feel like they're gonna have to just throw in a bunch of shit to just make it make sense. Like, I would hope, honestly, I would love to see Andros. Like, bro, like, come on. How you not gonna have Andros? Y'all in space.
Dude is not.
Y'all in space.
Yo, he's been doing those fan films, you know. Like you might be able to get him back.
It's not cool.
Yeah, he's not, but that would be great.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, it'd be godlike. So
Yeah.
So I personally, this is what I hope happens. And this might sound kind of wild, but for me it makes sense. So I want to see them go to different planets, especially since they're in the place. So I want to see them go to Triforia. I want to see them go to KO-35.
Yeah.
I want to see them go to where Maya's from Lost Galaxy. I forgot the name of the planet.
That's where they ended up.
Yeah.
That's where the Lost Galaxy Rangers are.
Yeah,
it's not Terra Venture.
Yeah.
No. Terra Venture's
Terra
the ship. But
Yeah.
the planet Miranoi.
Yeah.
Miranoi.
Yes, there we go.
There it is.
Obviously, Ravcon should be in. Ravcon's gonna be on there because that's where the Red Ranger's from.
Oh, they destroyed
right?
it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll bring it back. They'll find a way to bring it back. Something
The Dragon Balls.
or something
new
similar to it,
Ravcon.
right?
Yeah,
New
they'll
Ravcon
find
or
new
something.
Ravcon.
But that's what I hope happens. I don't think it will. It's
It
possible. Maybe they'll probably bring
they did say it would be planet hopping. So
yeah. Maybe the moon. Maybe they'll land on there too. I don't know. But that'll be cool. Even if we don't see the Rangers, if they make references on these planets and then they land on these planets, and just I'm not gonna say different villains, but I don't know. I would hope to see that. I will hope to see a lot of space. Being them being cosmic rangers. I would like even something happening in space, fight scenes or something in space. I don't know how they'll make it happen, but if they have like spaceships and stuff that can shoot stuff, and they have or Gundam battles or something like that, I think that would be cool. I think because space really is infinite, right? So there's infinite amount of possibilities of what they can really do up there in space.
Yeah, I mean, shouldn't we see the start of Space Patrol Delta?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, which is coming up, and I was gonna say like Doggy Kruger's planet you could find. Some of the planets like this is like a kind of obscure for the comics, but it's like those space stations where they harness the morphing grid. I forgot what they're called, but it's like they siphon off the morphing grid, or whatever. But it's kind of it had a lot to do with like the morphing, like Phantom Range. It's like those are also devices you could use that are kind of just like out there, and granted it's like, do I expect them to use any of that stuff? No, but it would be cool, especially if you're in space, like you have toys to play with.
Going back to the Billy thing, right? Aquitar is a planet. That's where Billy could just be there if they're visiting the planet. You know what I'm saying? So
just go there
with his kids.
And you could come home.
There's enough planets and Power Rangers for that to fill up 10 episodes.
Yeah, easily.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because like on paper, right, it's like you want it to be like a soft Gokaiger kind of thing, where it's just like, and like where you're seeing these Rangers kind of like interacting with past Rangers, but progressing their stories while paying attention to the past. Like if this is the end of Power Rangers as you know it, like that's how I'd want it to be. It's like, fix Megaforce, right? But do I see that happening? Not necessarily, but again, like you were saying, like if you can't have all the cameos, you could at least visit like some of that expanded Power Rangers world that only us, only we know about.
Yeah.
If you read in the comics, you're deep into it. So you have an opportunity here, and how does that sit into their regular plot? Because Lord Zed is still the main villain, right? I think Lord Zed is going to be the main villain of Cosmo.
Yup.
And whatever they do, obviously they're probably going to like give him extra hints like that. But like I could see Lord Zed wanting to do that because like Lord Zed is aware of those other planets. Like whose planet was he attacking? Was the Gold Ring? It was Triforia. Technically he was. I don't know if he was on Triforia, but he was where the Gold Ring was, because I know that they was bodied. It was him versus 1,000. was fucked up. But you know what I mean? Like as a kid, I was like, yo, why did I gotta do him like that? But anyway. But there's precedence, basically, is the point that I'm trying to say. Like Power Rangers in Space did. They expanded the universe. So I'm just hoping that they're on the same page. And again, like without filler, like they have more time to do this stuff. But then again, it's like I'm sure they're gonna bring back all these characters and stuff. It could, for better or worse, can affect pacing possibly. Like, what do you think? Because I know you haven't seen it yet, Tech, but it's like, what would you want to see from it? You know, like just even whether it has to do with like the universal expansion or whatever. And then on top of that, like I guess, like I don't know if you saw the suit. Like, what did you think of it?
I saw the picture of what was it, like the green one that they showed?
Green and gold.
Green and gold.
Yes, green and gold.
I mean, I thought they were cool. I saw like a lot of people hating on it. I didn't really get that. I mean, they're not like the best thing ever, but I
You
feel
saw
like
the green resemblance. That's why people hating on it.
I mean, it's pretty clear that whenever they do an American, like even the Cosmic Rangers are kind of like that. They always try to throw in the best because they think that looks cool, and it does. I don't have a problem with it. So like
Immortalized. You see what I mean? Legacy.
Like
Everyone's trying to be freaking Tommy. Everyone's why they hate him.
Yeah,
They can't. They want to be him. That's why.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that. Would you beat me to the punch?
My thing though that had me the most excited about it, from what I just heard from this Bennett talking about it and stuff on Twitter, because I believe he said that it was going to be all original footage except for the Megazord.
Yeah.
Zord.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's always really interesting because, like, I talk about RPM a lot. It's like one of my favorite seasons, and like that's also one where it was all original footage except for the Megazord fights. And like the plot for that obviously is completely different from the Sentai. Like they just almost the exact opposite of that. So like that's always really cool.
I would argue a lot of the best seasons did stuff like that. Or
completely different. Like even Space, like is very
Galaxy RPM.
Space used a lot of Sentai footage though. A lot.
It did, but like it was actually surprising.
It was at least like 75%.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised with how much in Space and Mega Ranger had in common.
Even though like the Zord still say Mega on it.
Yeah.
Like, how more obvious can it get? As a kid, I'm watching it. I'm like, why does it say Mega on it?
Mega V3 activate.
Mega Winger. It's like, okay, Mega Winger. I see Mega Winger makes sense, but then I still see Mega all over, and it doesn't make sense. Now getting older, we know.
Yeah.
We know what it is. Back then, that was original footage to us because we didn't know about Sentai.
Yeah, we didn't know none of that shit back then.
So I hope that we get the same feeling for watching Cosmic Fury, because we know now that it's it's not borrowed from anywhere. We're gonna have the same feeling. It's like, yo, this is cool. I've never seen this before because we haven't. Nobody has.
So does that mean we're gonna get some fucking more unmorphed fights, or they don't got time for that? They only got 10 episodes.
I believe. Well, so Kai, like the Blue Ranger, he posted some on Instagram saying he's preparing for his civilian fight.
Hey,
so one of my favorite Blues. Here we go, my boy Kai. Let's go.
So we'll see. I'm hoping, because that we didn't talk about the civilian fight debate.
That could be a discussion right off. Boom, we'll stop right here.
Yeah, that is something that the series needs, and I get why they haven't done it, because like they had all these production. They're basically saying like they have a first and second unit, and if the first unit is off something, then we don't have anything or if they're like, I guess second unit is off site. So if they're on second unit filming stuff, then they need stuff first unit to do, and that's how you get as much filler as you do, right? So like, I guess like a good example from Dino Fury, like that, like the episode where they go to RAFCON, it's like they had to have something for the other people to do, so that's why you had that stuff where they're playing Nerf guns. So essentially that's how it works with however their production is set up. But I guess if it's all original footage, you don't have to split it up the same way. Now, obviously, like if they're slimming down on filler, I guess there's more possibilities. But like when you think about the original Power Rangers, like a lot of that for us, I like a lot of the reason because like they tried to tie it into the fact that martial arts is cool. Like one of the founding principles of that original Mighty Morphin team was self-defense, self-confidence, and they tied that into the martial arts. So they had them doing martial arts a whole bunch, and like there was like a story reason for how they knew how to fight. But then you would see them have those fights, and it was cool. Well, once they got past that like first 20 episodes or so, the fight scenes started getting crazy. And then you started getting the actors who knew how to fight. Well, you know, they knew how to fight, but then like, you know, people started showing off. You know, you had JDF doing crazy Bruce Lee style, stuff. And then once Johnny got there, he was doing crazy stuff. And that's not even to put anyone like, you know, because Zach was going crazy in his fight scenes too.
Hip Hop Keto,
Austin, like a lot of people had opportunities, and like you would see how Billy grew, right? Because in the first few episodes, Billy was just like bumping around. He didn't know, but by the end, he was kicking people's asses without morph.
Jason is one of the greatest teachers. Taught him the ways of hands.
You know, yeah. and it's cool because it's like you could distinguish teams like that too. Because we're gonna talk about this later in Forever Red, but it's like you could still show like how certain Rangers have different ways of fighting or like fight to their strengths. So, you know, Tommy might want to do some, you know, kung fu on somebody, but then you'll have Carter who's just gonna shoot people. But he doesn't need to morph to shoot people, you know, and it's still efficient. That's true. So, you know, you have an opportunity to make people look cool and remember them for different reasons. You know, so that's why kind of what, you know, in Dino Fury, when you're seeing him, you're like, oh, there's not a lot of civilian fights. Like for me, that was a negative. For some people, it wasn't a negative, but like even Beast Morphers had a decent amount of civilian fights.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, they're doing some stuff.